already know I stay fresh, so go ahead, let your guard down, shawty say yes, cuz
you know the kid's so smooth, shorty check my swag.
What?
My swag.
So, what is good, YouTube? Gary MS6 here, also known as Darnell. But yeah, this is basically my introduction into a new series I was thinking about doing for a while, and finally kind of pulled the trigger on it, so to speak, and decided to kind of make some things happen. So basically what this series is about, it's titled About That Life. And anybody that's into, fitness or, I don't want to say like bodybuilding because it's not just that, but fitness, bodybuilding, just trying to be a better you. They understand that lifestyle is complicated and it's a rough and arduous journey. There is no doubt about that. So this is almost like a chronicle of sorts of my own personal journey. It's kind of like a video journal of sorts, so to speak. I guess to give some perspective and some background, I don't know, at this point, I think I've been into fitness for a good 15, maybe 16 years. Currently I'm 31, so do the math on that. But, I've gone through pretty much every different sort of phase of a body that you can go through. So I've gone through a phase where I was very skinny. I've gone through a phase where I was overweight. I've gone through a phase where I would consider myself depressed and obese. I've gone through a phase of being more chiseled and smaller and defined. I've gone through a phase of being bulkier and more brutish. So I've gone through just about everything, and I've done a lot of different things on the way there in terms of meal plans, different sorts of training styles and workouts, and it's led me into a lot of different careers as well, where I've worked as a personal trainer before. I'm not going to say the organizations, but they know who they are, and I learned a great deal of information there. Additionally, that opened up other opportunities just from being in that atmosphere and being around those sort of positive people. Currently, I guess it's more of a, I don't want to say it's more of like a hobby, but because I do still do some personal training on the side as well as meal planning, prepping, things like that. But nothing where people are like going to shows or anything like that. It's just I have a decent amount of information and I try to share that the best I can. And the things that I learned at those organizations that do personal training, I feel like a lot of that is beneficial to other people. And apparently people are receptive to how I carry myself or how I go about my teaching style. So, they don't really run into much difficulty or much problem working under my tutelage. Although I would love to become certified, the majority of the programs that I've done did not require a certificate, although a certificate was definitely, I'd say, recommended, but it wasn't required, considering that even those people that were certified, if you look at the training styles between the two, there wasn't too much of a difference. It was just one person had a piece of paper and the other one didn't. But this is just more of an introduction into this particular project. So I do have a few people that I'm working with right now. I usually try to keep my I guess my subjects, I'll put it like that. I try to keep that as small as possible because I'm only one man, and I do a ton of work, in terms of calculating macronutrients and calculating meal plans and like calorie figures, metabolic rates. It's a ton of work to do all those numbers for, let's say, 30, 40 people and just be one man and then try to work a a regular job, and then still have time to, because I do a lot of other things as well, but still have time to take care of those things as well. I don't want to disenfranchise or give somebody a half-ass experience, so to speak, because I'm taking on too much. And I think that's something that a lot of trainers do. They see the money and they get greedy, and they don't know when to turn people down. I mean, obviously, if you're looking at this page, there's a good possibility you'll probably look at some of the playlists, and a lot of them have something to do with vehicles or automobiles or that sort of subject. Obviously, I'm into cars as well, so I look at it as the same way like finding a good tuner for your vehicle. You can have a tuner that he has 1,000 different clients, and you might get D plus customer service, if that, because he's dealing with so many people, and it's going to take forever to get to reach out to that person or to get a response on a very basic question. But it might cost you a lot less because he's got so many people. Or you go to a tuner that maybe they're only tuning maybe 50 to 100 people, but those 50 to 100 people are getting detailed answers and responses when they reach out. And there's no a week, 2 week, a month waiting time. It's you hear back from that person that same day. And that's kind of what I wanted to provide. So I don't take on more than I feel that I can personally handle and that I can personally put my efforts, or I guess my copyright, so to speak, on the sort of work that I do. So that's why I usually keep a very small portfolio of clients. But right now I have to check because, I mean, everything is so thorough. When we calculate out a meal plan, well, not so much sometimes a meal plan, but I do it a little differently. I instruct people on how to eat. I mean, a diet is exactly that. It's a diet is your full intake of whatever you eat, essentially. So everyone has a diet. And then when you say go on a diet, you're implying that you're going to be cutting certain things or removing certain things that you normally would be eating. So it's a temporary change. And the problem is, if it's a temporary change, that means there's always a possibility of, once you stop that temporary change, you go back to where you were before. And then you're right back to where you started, and then you have to do it again, and it ends up being like a yo-yo. So if you teach people how to eat correctly and how to be aware of their macronutrients, or what their carb intake should be, or what their protein intake should be, or how many fats they should have, and educate them on the benefits of eating certain foods over other foods, then you have a much better opportunity to change somebody's way of life. And have them eat and operate and conduct themselves in a way that allows them to still enjoy the things that they want, because that's what life is about, enjoying the things you want, but at the same time, still being personally responsible and accountable for what the results are if you have a bad week. And as this series goes on, I'm going to go into some of my own personal techniques and some of my workouts and whatnot. The majority of these videos are for people that are personally interested in what I do, because I get a lot of questions usually when I go to the gym about, why are you doing this way, or why are you doing that particular movement, or what's the purpose of that, or what's a good workout to hit this muscle, or hey, does this look right to you? So that's mainly what this is about, to give people kind of a visual representation of what I'm saying. And also it's mostly for those people that I'm working with, when I give them a workout plan and they, I don't have the benefit of being able to be there with them, at least they have some idea of what to do or what it's supposed to look like. So it's not, is this right? Does this look right? I figure I'll just do my own. And plus, at the same time, a lot of things that you don't normally see with personal trainers is their own training. And I think that's a big thing. It's one thing to yell and scream at somebody about what they should be doing. It's another thing to be there in the trenches with them and be there doing it with them. And I know I get a completely different response out of a client when I'm one-on-one with them versus in kind of that stand back form where you give them something to do and then you go on to the next person, you give them something to do, and then you're letting them kind of do it at their own pace, do it at their own leisure. When you're one-on-one, and I know I have a ton of people that request that version of training versus just give me something to do and I'll do it on my own. That one-on-one is intense. That one-on-one is intense, man. When you're in somebody's face and you're doing the same thing, you're feeling the same thing, you're both breaking past those same walls, you're both going through the same amount of adversity, you're both understanding what it means to have that pain. That's what it's about. And I know someone that I've taken a lot after is C.T. Fletcher. I think everybody knows C.T. Fletcher motivation, but a lot of people compare me to him, and it's not that I'm ripping off his style or anything, but I get intense at times, so I might yell, I might scream, whatever I have to do to get that person's attention and to light that fire and get them to give me everything. That's what I'm gonna do. So I don't care what I gotta say or what comes out of my mouth. I get results. So that's my main goal and that's my main motivation. But I like to post my own training videos so people get to see. Okay, you're telling me do X, Y, and Z, but I don't ever see you doing that. So so in this case, now people can't say that anymore, and they know who they are. And I'm not gonna name names, but you know who you are. So now there's no more, oh well, I don't see you doing this, or why am I the only one doing this? Why aren't you working as well? Now you see, I work just as hard as you do, and in most circumstances, I might even work harder. So here's the evidence, here's the proof of it. But as this series goes on, as I said, I'm gonna share some more of the ways that I go about doing things, or some of the tips and tricks that I've learned through the years, and hopefully I can help people. This is it's a forum and it's a community. That is the point of YouTube, to be more of a platform, so to speak. I see a lot of people use YouTube as more of a kind of a stepping stone, that they want exposure, and then they, kind of go off on their way. But I look at it as it's kind of the platform that can lead to great things if you're great. That's the key. You decide and you determine how big or how popular or how motivational or how addictive, how successful you can be. Because obviously it's not just about prospering or making the financial gains and whatnot, although those are nice, but I think in anything that defines the difference between a job and a career. A job is something that you're doing simply for some sort of financial compensation. If that compensation was taken away from you, you wouldn't do it. But in this case of a career, it doesn't matter how much you're getting paid. It's something that you love to do. It's something that you would do for free, and you just so happen to be getting paid as well. So I think that's what the goal has to be. It can't all be about money and checks and things like that, although those do kind of help to get towards those next goals and those next areas, but that can't be what it's all about. And this whole series is going to be about reaching out to people, educating people, because I've had an impact on people in the past, and I just want to see how it goes in terms of reaching out to others other than the client base that I've built, that are very loyal, and I love all of you, and you know that I'd do anything for you. And whatever questions you have at 2 a.m., 12 a.m., you want me to come meet you to come do a training session or something, you know I'm there. You know, you don't have to ask, hey, I got a question for you. I don't know how you react. No, everyone knows. Ask me something, and more than likely I'm gonna do it. But yeah, check out some of these videos. These are all just random videos of training in the past and whatnot. So some of the things that I do. In the future, I'm gonna go into detail on particular days, because these are, you can look at the shirt and tell that these are all different days and different things. I have a very specific breakdown for what muscle groups I do on what days. So this isn't all just one day and I just happen to change the shirt in between exercises. These are all like broken down days. So I'm going to go through each one and kind of go over what I do or how I recover or how I prep, that sort of thing. So maybe you learn something, maybe you won't. Maybe it's just entertaining. Doesn't matter. Either way, it's here. So more videos to come. Of course, if you have any questions or anything, drop them down below. The comment system on YouTube has been kind of wacky, so I really don't know what the hell is going on there. I honestly do not. Sometimes it posts, other times it says comment failed to post, and other times it's like I don't even know if it's gonna post, and I'll write like a test and then it'll actually post, and then I gotta delete that. So, I mean, if I don't get back to you immediately, know that it's not because I saw your question and I said the hell with it. Know that it's because I probably can't figure out how to get the damn response to post. But if this is something that you're interested in being updated on and whatnot, then of course you can subscribe to the channel. And then at that point, if you turn on notifications and whatnot, whenever something is new whenever something new is added to this particular channel, or to this playlist, if that's all you're interested in, then you'll be updated. And I know I traditionally go maybe 4 to 5 times during the week. I know I just took a trip out of the country, and there'll be some video on that as well, because no off days, so I had to figure something to do down there. So I'll show kind of more of the homegrown training versus a nice gym with all the equipment and whatnot. That, hey, even when you're on vacation, you still got to take care of business. No off days. It's always your set. But yeah, if this is something that you're interested in seeing more of, I would suggest subscribing so you don't miss anything. Other than that, I got work to do. So over and out until the next time.